and just the history of WWE in general, just because you're Jon Moxley and you're wild and crazy and that's your gimmick, that's not guaranteed that's what's going to happen when you get to WWE. And you know that. So if you continue to go down that road and sign with WWE knowing that, then you can't sit there and bitch how you don't have creative control. You knew that before you signed a contract. The days of Hulk Hogan calling the shots, refusing to put his shoulders on the mat against certain people, refusing to give people rematches that he promised to start a storyline, or claiming that he's got to leave the company for a couple of months to do something so he doesn't have to do that rematch. Kind of like what he did with Shawn Michaels. Those days are gone. Brock Lesnar isn't a Hulk Hogan. Brock Lesnar is under contract to do a certain amount of shows during his contract, and you can't blame the guy for not doing anything outside of what he signed to do. Again, he knew going in this is how he was going to be used. He doesn't care what the fans say, what the fans do regarding him, because he's a businessman. So if Dean is upset because he's not being used the way he thinks he should be used, but he's being used exactly what he signed up to do, and he's worried about the backlash from the fans, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons. You shouldn't be doing it for the fans. You're supposed to be doing it for you. You're supposed to be doing it because that's what you do for a living. You know, we don't go to work every morning because it makes other people happy. We do it because we have bills to pay. We have a life to live. We have family to feed. You know, now we got Dean Ambrose and the divorce rumors going around. Like, are you serious right now? Like, why? Why? Why do we have to continue to put people's lives in the spotlight? Why do I have to read about, you know, him and Renee Young possibly having a divorce? That's why he's leaving the company. Why do I need to read that? And you think between Renee Young and Dean Ambrose, the WWE is going to choose to keep Renee Young? She's a nice lady and all, but she's an announcer. She's not a talent. She wasn't offered one of the largest contracts to stay with the company, which is another thing I think is really weird, because WWE never puts out there how much money they want to pay somebody. You got to do research to find out how much these people get paid. You never see somebody signed a 7-figure or 6-figure deal to stay on with the company. They don't put that in there. They'll use words like lucrative, long term. So honestly, I don't know. If Dean Ambrose is leaving, cool. Wish him luck. If he's staying, it's a swerve, it's a work, also cool. Because I'll be laughing at all these idiots that have been screaming and yelling about him going to AEW. If he goes to AEW, cool too. If he goes to Impact, cool. If he stays on the indies for a while and works, great. You know, I'm sure the guy that we just mentioned before will run out and overpay and get him and charge people an arm and a leg for an autographed photo because he overpaid for them. And then try to become exclusive just to Jon Moxley. Because that's what kind of business we're in. Everybody thinks they're a superstar. Everybody thinks that they're the shit. That they're reinventing the wheel. They're not doing exactly the same thing everybody's been doing since the 80s. When people were being brought in for signings. When Greg Valentine was charging fans for signatures before shows, setting up a table in the lobby. When everybody's reinventing the wheel. You know, and to be creative and think outside the box should always be something you should do in this business. Or any business. You know, and to do something on Facebook, you know, and be recognized or claim to be the first to do something, and then everybody copies off you after that, and then forget where they got that idea from. That's just the nature of the beast. I can sit here and make a list of things. I've been doing this since 2012. I can make a list of things. Now, I've had Facebook since day one. Since day one, Facebook has been out. I've had it. I've had it when you were only allowed to have Facebook with a college email address. I've had it. I had MySpace before that, and actually ran MySpace and Facebook at the same time. And I've never seen a lot of stuff that we started doing in 2012. I can make a list of stuff. That could be another top 10. Top 10 things that I claim that I either originated or excelled in the wrestling promotions booking industry. But I don't care. Because somebody will sit there and go, no, that was my idea. Well, you know what? I didn't see it on Facebook ever. So, it's like the old saying, if a tree falls in the woods and there's nobody there to hear it, does it still make a sound? Does a bear shit in the woods? So, I don't know. I'm just, obviously, and I'm just tired. I'm literally tired of the pettiness. I'm tired of the bullshit that people in this industry cry about. You want to cry about product and you want to cry about stuff you watch on TV, go ahead, knock yourself out, man. It's like no different than going to the movie theater and watching a movie and you thought it sucked. That's great. You paid money. You expected a certain level of entertainment. If you didn't get it, you have the right to complain. Your money is paying to fund that movie. Just like wrestling. Your ticket purchases, your network purchase is all going towards paying these talents and WWE to become the juggernaut it is in this industry. So you have the right to complain. But in the wrestling industry, when it comes to signing people and bringing them to the conventions and fan fest and wrestling shows and things like that, again, how many times am I going to say, I don't give a shit how long you've been in this industry and how long you've been doing this. If you're still doing it like you were in 1990, I don't want to hear it. Because in 1990, you didn't have all this social media and all these ways to advertise and promote yourself at the click of a mouse. You didn't have that 30 years ago. So tell me again how long you've been doing this and why that matters. This business is about what have you done for me lately. You're only as good as your last booking. And for talents to be brought in by these people who shit on other people's talents, it's unbelievable. Are you shitting on them because you had a bad experience with them? Are you shitting on them because you didn't make money last time you brought them in? I love that one. I love when people tell me I'm not going to make money, and then I do. I love that. It's a great feeling, not only just to make money, because, who doesn't like doing that, but it's a great feeling because then if they didn't make money, it was because of them, because they brought them to the wrong places. They put them in the wrong scenarios. They didn't motivate themselves to promote and advertise and market their talent properly. So to sit there and shit on somebody from the privacy of your keyboard or your telephone and to shit on people, they're not going to make them any money. You know what? I can sit here and I can go promoter by promoter, picking apart some of the garbage that they bring in. And I don't even like to use that term garbage. You know what? Let's back up. Some of the talent that they bring in that has just been here over and over and over. What's the point? You know the saying, you keep tapping that well, eventually it's going to dry. Some people just don't get that. And there's some people I understand why they don't get that. Because they're young, they're immature, they're not educated properly. But when you want to sit here and tell me you've been in this business for 30 years and you keep doing the same shit, then you deserve to lose money. But don't lose money and then turn around and shit on someone else because they're making money. And if you're a fly-by-night promoter who gets a couple of bucks in their pocket and decides to call a wrestler and say, hey, you want to come to a convention with me? And it makes up a fake company and puts it on Facebook and then tries to shit on everybody else when you don't pay your talent and you owe them money, and then you want to shit on someone else and you want to call them names and try to call them out when you're a big fucking pussy and you'll never say it to their face. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. And you big fucking lurch motherfucker, you know who I'm talking about. And I know you're going to hear this. Because the people who say nobody listens to my show are the people who get called out on their bullshit. So obviously they heard about it, so I guess people were listening to it. And considering that I get thousands and thousands of dollars worth of advertising for promoters to my radio show, I guess all my demographics are pretty accurate, and my radio show is helping their business, but nobody listens. It's only the people who get caught in lies, get caught in scams, who don't pay their people, who get called out on social media by talent, and then I talk about it on here. Those are the people who say nobody listens. But if nobody listened, they would never know that we talked about them. So, don't know. So, I don't know what else to tell you about ATD Promotions. Oops, that slipped out. But anyway, you'll know where I'll be. Big event, March 9th. I'll be there with Jasmine, St. Clair, Mercedes Martinez, Kelly Klein, the Funkenstein Wrestling Superstar, and my crew. I'll be there. Will you be there? Probably not. Let's see if you even show up to your scheduled signings that you have at the Markout at the Meadowlands. We'll see if you even show up. Maybe eventually you'll pay Jim Cornette money back that you owe him, over $1,000. Maybe you'll pay back Jason Maples the money that you owe him from Heroes and Legends and when he was down here at Boardwalk Beatdown in Atlantic City, when you tried to skip out on money. But yet, you're mad at me. You're mad at me. That's what's hilarious. You're mad at me. If anybody hasn't figured it out, I'm talking about Anthony D'Alfonso of ATD Promotions, another fake promoter with a fake company that lives in his mom's basement. Okay? You're mad at me when the only thing I did was take a piece of paper, transcribed conversation that I had with Jason Maples of Heroes and Legends, and I read what he told me in a small interview regarding you. But you're mad at me. Now, I didn't do anything other than read the truth. You want to say there was two sides of the story? Well, if there's two sides of the story, Anthony, then when I called you during that show, you probably should have answered your phone. Or, after I was off the air, you probably could have called me back and told your side of the story. Because we've done that before, where we've had a show where someone came on, put somebody on blast for their half of the story, and then we've had the other person and the other half of the story on the show the following week. But apparently you didn't want to do that because you were guilty. And if you're guilty, suck it up, be a man, pay back whatever you owe this person, because now we're going on multiple months. This is what, November? December? And you still haven't paid this guy back? You still haven't paid Cornette back? How's that possible? You're a big time promoter, man. Just read your Facebook page. I mean, you blocked me. The funny part is you blocked me the day of the show. Meanwhile, I didn't